and welcome to V8DXB. This is the Porsche Cayenne Turbo, and today we're going to do a quick review of this car. More importantly, today we're going to be talking about what it is like to own and drive this car and the maintenance costs. This is my wife's Cayenne Turbo. This is a daily driven, and let's talk about what it takes to maintain a car like this and what it takes to daily drive a car like this. Stay tuned. Now this is the Porsche Cayenne Turbo, which means that it has the 4.4 liter twin turbo V8 under the hood over there, which makes this car a lot of fun to drive. And one of the ways that you can differentiate from the front a Cayenne Turbo from a GTS or a regular Cayenne is that the Cayenne Turbos have blacked out headlights. The GTS has that too. And on the regular Cayennes, there are no fins or there are no radiators over here. On the Cayenne Turbos, these are actual functioning vents, and you've got those nice big radiators that are over there, and the DRLs over here as well. And you've obviously got a big mouth over here for the big radiator unit that sits over here, transmission cooler, and then this one also comes with the radar. So this is for your radar guided cruise control. That sits over there. One of the things that I really like about this car, amongst the other things, is the way the car looks. Still looks $1 million. And of course, it also has, as you would have identified with the yellow calipers, it also has these ceramic brakes, which is a good and a bad thing. It is a good thing because if you look at the weight and the might of this car, it needs that kind of a braking power to sort of bring the car back to stand still. And Porsche has not cheaped out in any way. Even if you look at the rear, all drilled rotors. And of course, when the car is driven very heavy, which it is often, by heavy I mean harsh accelerations and harsh brakings, you do get a bit of a smell from these brakes, which I'm told is normal. Nothing really to complain about the sides or the rear quarter panel on the car. Everything works as it is. This one also has the sports exhaust. So dual chrome sport exhaust sounds really good. Also on the Cayenne Turbo, you also have the tail lamp, which is blacked out. It's not the regular one that you see on the other Cayennes. In terms of looks, there is no car that looks as good as this, in my opinion, especially for this year. And the way that the car, there's something with the paintwork on this car. The car is graphene coated, but there's an unbelievable amount of shine in the car at all times, including the wheels as well. Now wheels, one of the things is obviously it has the ceramic brakes, which means that there is no brake dust. So the wheels are never dirty. That takes care of a lot of the things that we need to be worrying about this car. However, with the ceramic brakes, there is a caveat. The brakes are designed in such a way that they're very high performance. Replacing them is a very expensive affair. Luckily for us, the brakes and rotors were replaced before we purchased the car. But I had a quick check with the guys at DT on what it would take to replace the ceramic brakes and rotors. And the price came out to be a whopping 100,000 dirhams. That's correct, 100,000 dirhams for the brakes and the calipers, should you decide to change that. Because of this, a lot of people go ahead and change to the steel roads and breakers when they do get a chance, if it is due for a renewal, you know, which is one of the reasons why. But so far, ceramics holding up really good. We're very happy with the performance. And let's jump inside, see what the car has to offer. Now let's jump onto the inside for this car. So this one does have the optional Burmeister premium music system. It's got the skid plates. And this seat adjustment over here is very good. You've got obviously, you know, your front and back, which is your thigh support. Seat goes up and back. You've got your lumbar support at the back as well. Overall, it's very well appointed. Also has this really nice Porsche headrest crest. And then obviously you've got your door handles, nice little finish over here. You've got your electronic power brake controls, and then you've got your automatic headlights, which to be honest 90% of the time is just left on auto. And then this is one of the very cool features that you'll see on Porsches is the key. It's got a nice touch to it, and this is actually a mechanical key that you can use to switch the car on and off. And this is usually on the driver's side. Most of the cars you will see it here, but on Porsches it's over here. The logic being that Porsche still considers this to be a race car, and they still like to carry forward all the things that they do on their race cars. So the concept being that you would, on a race, you just come, run in, sit down over here. It's easier to start from here and get go. The car still starts with that, so you obviously have your key. Once this is unlocked, you can jump in and you can just push that out. Apart from that, of course, you've got the big dial over here because this is a turbo, revs all the way up until 8,000 RPMs. And one of the really good screens that I like on this car is this one over here. So once you rev it, you can see the fuel and you can see the oil pressure going up and down. And obviously once the car is in motion, the turbos and all of those things also give you a nice feel for what it is. You've got all of your controls over here, which is this switch is actually customizable, so you can customize the switch to whatever that you prefer that the car wants to do, and it will set that up for that. This one does come with the radar guided cruise control, so the radar guided cruise control sits over here. Very easy and very intuitive to turn on and off, and I actually think it works better than my BMW. On the BMW, this is good. It's very well set. It still sits over here. However, when there is a car in front of you, this on the BMW it really brakes really hard. This somehow is able to mitigate that, and it's going to brake. It brakes a little more gently than the BMW. Doesn't feel as much. 120,000 kilometers on the clock, and we'll talk about all the things that we've gone through with it. You know how it is and what it does, etc. You've got your oil temperature there, you've got your oil pressure over there, so you know all of these things, once you rev them, all of them move. Of course, the speedometer, but to be fair, I don't really use this speedometer because it's marked all the way up to 300. Sheikh Zayed Road, you're sitting at 120, so it's a bit hard to see between 110 and 120, so I don't use this at all. When I'm driving, I'm focusing on the tachometer over here, what my engine's doing. I like to see which gear I'm at, and then I see my speed here. This is a digital display layout. You don't necessarily need to be looking at this, but I like to keep an eye on what my turbos are doing, what the temperatures are doing, and what everything else is doing. And then you've got the fuel consumption there, and then the engine temperature over there. Fuel consumption is a lot on this car. It's a 4.4 liter V8, so you would expect that. But this light actually comes on when you're running low on fuel, so you know that's one thing. Overall, the way that the car drives is exceptional. It does not feel like an SUV at all, and as you can see that from this driving position, visibility obviously is phenomenal given that it is an SUV at the end of the day. When you're nice and sitting and when you're driving over here, you know your focus is obviously on this, and then that serves the purpose. Does not come with a heads-up display for this year, which I do miss because it makes information really easy. However, this guy over here does a very, very good job.